on the show. He is the author of The Gut Sales Method, knows a ton about sales, and has some crazy videos on YouTube. Thanks so much for coming on the show today, Claude.
Thank you for having me, Jamie. This is fun.
You've already made me almost spit out my coffee so far this morning, so this will probably be fun.
It's a gift I have. All the girls say that.
Okay, I love that. So we're going to dive definitely into sales training and tactics and all that fun stuff. But when we were chatting earlier, you're like, oh, I like this question, so I want to ask you this one question. What's your definition of success?
Great question. I'm so glad I fed it to you earlier. Definition of success is, when you reach a place, this show is called The Eventual Millionaire, and you become a millionaire because you worked very hard, you had some innovative and creative ideas. But success is really not the accumulation of wealth, of all the material things. It's the freedom to know that you could lose it all. You could take everything my wife and I have worked for all our lives, the houses, the savings, the assets and everything. Take it all away from me. Leave me healthy and get me to a telephone, and I will be on top of wage earnings in the next 30 days. And when you have that, you're free the rest of your life. It's not the money that you save. It's the ability to know you could lose it and get it back all again because you have that confidence. You have those skill sets, sales skills, marketing skills. It's that energy, that DNA. And when you have that, you're just free. You can always lose stuff. And if you've interviewed great people, and most of them, myself included, we've lost fortunes too. We've made boo-boos, And the thing is, can you get back on the horse? And when you can do that, you've made it.
So how do you know when you've gotten there, right? Because the thing is, let's say you start having success, but is it a fluke or is it not a fluke? Like, how do you know when your skill set is like, bam, I can do this no matter what?
It's such a long road, I'll be should I tell the truth or lie today?
Oh, wait, what? No. Yes, I'm pretty sure truth is good.
Truth is good. Truth. I always wanted to be financially free. I've been broke in my life. There were times in my life I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. I had great immigrant parents who worked really hard and everything like that. And, we lived a good middle-class life. But I always wanted more because I always saw people around me who had more. And I'm not ashamed to say that. And I did try different things like all of us did. I went to the Guru of the Week Club and different seminars. And I read all these wonderful books and everything. And I always started things and they didn't work and the grass was greener and things like that. But I wanted to be wealthy. And by my definition of wealthy is going to bed and not thinking about money. Have you ever, Jamie, gone to bed 2 a.m. and say, oh, damn, how am I going to pay the rent?
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, oh my gosh, that I was up all night. It wasn't just 2 a.m. It was like, I had to ask my dad for money when I was in college.
I did too. My folks were great. They helped me out in a couple businesses and things like that. They were always supportive and wonderful and positive and everything like that. And maybe that's part of my DNA to get where I wanted to be. But it's a lot about self-esteem, confidence, going out there and hustling and saying this is my focus. This is what I want in my life. Not because I want a Lamborghini in the garage. I just don't want to think about money all the time. And I think we're always overwhelmed by money, and we're always struggling for it. And I was lucky. I found the system, I found the skill set, and I found the people who could help me get to where I wanted to be.
So that's the question then, because as you were going through, like you tried things, you failed things, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, what's that pivotal moment? And you said, I found this thing. So
yeah.
You're going to have to tell us what this thing was. Was that the pivotal moment that changed things for you?
I always had the desire. I always had the desire, the focus. I just didn't know which way. I didn't know myself well enough to know what my strengths are. And if it's one thing people should take away, what are your strengths? You're great. You're a great interviewer. You're great on podcasting, and you're a coach. You found what you love to do. I know that about you. And that first, you got to have that passion for finding the thing that you're good at, the thing you enjoy. Because we've all had the corporate job, and I'm a horrible employee, Jamie. I always think I can do it better, and I just don't play nice with others. I worked for corporations. I have a law degree and all this stuff, and I found I wasn't happy. And so sometimes even the money isn't enough. I always tell people, gee, if you could be a toll collector, and I don't want to offend the toll collectors out there, but if you told me I'd be a toll collector and you'd pay me $1 million a year, what's the highlight of my day? Breaking a 20? I mean, you got to find the passion, what you love, and the pivotal moment. That was the question. I met this wonderful gentleman in New Jersey. I'm originally from New York. You know what I'm saying here? And
all too well, yes.
You talking to me? And I met this wonderful gentleman. He was like a second father. It was just wonderful. He was very successful. I never met a millionaire before. And another tip: if you want to be a millionaire, hang around with millionaires, socialize, network, talk to them, try to be in their sphere of influence, their environment. And his name was Max, and I've never met anybody like this. He was in real estate, which is where I kind of was my first business, real estate. And he would pick up the phone and he'd have this charisma, this natural salesman ability. He'd close deals and make more money in one phone call than I'd make in a whole year doing corporate America. And I said, oh my God, I got to learn from this guy. What is he doing? Can I emulate, copy, plagiarize from this guy? And what I ended up doing with all my degrees and everything, and all my three-piece suit and my explode and rear impact Pinto, was I became a gopher for this guy. I'd fetch him bagels, coffee, pick up his dry cleaning, pick up his wife at the airport. I wanted to be around a person and learn.
How did you do that, though? Because that's the thing.
I begged.
You begged.
I begged. I basically, actually, I wrote about it in my book, The Mentor Teaches Success, one of my books, and I kept going. I called his secretary, Brunhilde, because I couldn't get past the guardian at the gate. And I call and I call and I call, almost like the movie Wall Street with Michael Douglas, where he's trying to get to see Gordon Gekko. Same thing kind of for me. And one day I just said, I was tenacious, I was very young. And I went to the parking lot real early, and I met him there, scared the S out of the guy. And he said, oh, you the guy who's been bothering my secretary, Brunhilde? And I said, yeah. He says, I'll give you 5 minutes. Go down to the 7-Eleven, get me a bagel and a cup of coffee, and get back here quick. And I was lucky. I sold myself to him.
Just because you're fast with a bagel and a coffee. That's really ridiculously impressive.
So maybe that's all you need. Maybe he just liked that I made the effort, to see him. And I learned from this guy. And so, and I learned sales, which is kind of my passion now. How to communicate with people, how to talk to people, how to get them to like you. And he was brilliant on the phone. He'd get on the phone, and with all the competition in the world of real estate, people would work with this cute little man in New Jersey who worked out of an office, and he would just he was an immigrant also, by the way, and he'd make all this money by using the phone, giving good phone, which is one of my